Hey guys, I'm glad you made it. This is going to be our PAR Workout 1. We're always going to start off with dynamic stretching. Then we're going to do our golf-specific weights. Then we're going to do core balance and stability. And then we're going to finish off with static stretching. So I'm going to show you the exercises. And then I'm going to perform the exercise for you one time. And then it's your job to do it on your own. Download the PDF file. Take it to your gym. Work out. So let's start off with dynamic stretching. Today we're going to do knees to chest. Then quad stretch, and then we're going to do our storks, our inversions, our sumo squats, and then we're going to add a little rotation and do our backswing and follow through. So let's do our knees to chest. Basically, you're going to bring your knee parallel to your hip. And again, we're opening up the lower back. So knees to chest, 10 on right, 10 on left. This is a quad stretch. So do your quad stretch. Again, the knee is going to go underneath your hip. So your quad stretch. A stork, I want your left knee to be like a 4 and take your left leg behind your right leg, and I want you to bring your knee to the front, knee to the side. Knee to the front, knee to the side, knee to the front, knee to the side. As you can see, I'm not letting my hips move. I'm really opening up internal and external rotation of my hip. To the front, to the side, to the front, and to the side. 10 on left. Now let's go 10 on right. Again, figure 4, knee to the front, knee to the side, front, side. Working internal, external rotation and proprioception on the down leg. Knee to the front, knee to the side. An inversion is really just letting me know if your hip is able to anteriorly rotate back and load. Basically, when I invert, you can see that my hip is going to move back and load. So we're going to go 10 on the right and 10 on the left. So this is the inversion. 10 on right, 10 on left. Then we're just going to go to a sumo squat. A sumo squat, take your hands underneath your toes, drop your hips, keep your hands underneath your toes, and extend your legs. So a sumo squat, open up hamstrings and lower back. And down and up. Then we're just going to add a little bit of rotation. Basically, just kind of put your hands together and rotate. Sternum over right, sternum over left, sternum over right, sternum over left. Make sure your right hip comes up and your right foot comes up. Why does the right foot come up? Because the left hips come all the way around. Pulled your right knee, pulled your right hip, pulled your right knee, pulled your right toe. So sternum over right, sternum over left, sternum over right, sternum over left. Let's get to the weights. On the weights today, I really just want to emphasize proper form and technique. I want to go over eccentric and concentric and range of motion. When you understand eccentric, concentric, range of motion, proper form and technique, no injuries. Now, eccentric, concentric is anything you resist on. Concentric is anything you can contract on. Meaning, eccentric is anything that I resist on, and concentric is anything I contract on. So eccentric is anything I resist on. Concentric, anything I can contract on. Now, the most important thing to remember is eccentric is where 99% of injuries occur. Eccentric is where you actually tone, tighten, and firm the muscle. And eccentric is where you strengthen the tendons and ligaments around the muscle. So if I was going to be injured, would I be injured if I just let this drop or pushing up? Of course. If I just let this drop without any resistance, boom, I could pop a pec. If I just let this drop without any resistance, I could blow a shoulder. And if I just drop without any resistance, I could blow out a knee. So eccentric, concentric, without really worrying about it at all, I just want you to think 2-2. So I want you to come down for 2 and up for 2. So 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. If you're doing your squats, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 2 on the eccentric and 2 on the concentric. Perfect. Range of motion. Every major muscle that we have, chest, back, shoulders, quads, has a minor muscle that pushes or pulls the major muscle. Meaning, when I do chest, my minor muscle that pushes my chest is my front delt and my tricep. So when we talk about range of motion, I do not want to have a joint come into play when I'm lifting, like for a chest or a shoulders or a back or a quad. Meaning, if I do my chest press, From here to there is joint. From here to here, I'm actually working chest, and you can see from here to here, when I lock out this joint, that's my tricep. So from here to there, that's a waist of movement. From here to here is actually the chest, and from here to here is joint. I want to stay in the range. It's from shoulders and elbows are parallel to this position here. Shoulders, same thing. As you can see, major muscles, shoulders, but from here to here is joint. From here to here, the shoulders, and from here to here is tricep. I don't need the tricep to come in play, so the range is actually from shoulders and elbows are parallel from here to there. When you're doing your quads or squats, you can see that from this position to here is joint. From here to here is quad, and here to there is joint. So the range is from parallel, hip, knee, and up. So when you do your weights on par level 1 through par 9, make sure we're staying real important to eccentric, the resistance, or coming down for 2 and up for 2, and range of motion. Stay in parallel, and don't let the joint come into play. So now we're going to go over core. Core, if you just cut off your arms and your legs, that's your core, your pillar system. It's what protects spine. It's what allows your transverse abdominis to adduct in and control those hips on the downswing. So everything is going to stem from the bridges. So we're going to start with a front bridge, a side bridge, supine bridge. And as you go through beginner from 1 to 9, we'll add it, we'll make it more intense. We'll go from beginner, which is static, intermediate, which is added movement, to more advanced. So let's go do a front bridge. Now our goal is to hold this for at least a minute. Right now I'm just going to hold it for about 5 seconds. But I'd like for you to, the first week, hold it for about a minute on the front, a minute on the side, a minute on the side, a minute on supine. So act like you're about to watch TV, your shoulders, elbows, wrists, your hip, knee, and ankle. And from here, I just want you to pick up your knees. Now, a lot of times they'll tell you to take a string on your navel and pick up your navel, and a lot of times people's hips will come up. If I ask you to pick up your knees, you can see that will engage your core. So we're going to hold this for 5. Perfect. Now we're going to go to a side bridge. A side bridge, the key is make sure your shoulders, your elbows, and wrists are in line, your hip, your knee, your ankle in line. Pick up, act like somebody rolls a ball up underneath you. Your right hand stays on your right hip, and hold that for 10 or a minute. And then we'll go to the right side. Now, for a right-handed golfer, your right side, this is your downswing side. This side is going to feel a little bit, it's going to be a little weaker than the left side. Hold this for a minute. So again, shoulders, elbows, wrist, hip, knee, ankle. And then we're going to go to supine bridge. Supine, your hips, your heels underneath your knees. And from here, we just need to pick up your hips. Pick up your hips. Now from here, pick up your toes. Now pick your hips up parallel to your knees again. And you're going to hold that. You need to feel it in your glutes. Some of us might feel it in our lower back. But again, let's hold it for a minute. For purposes, we're just going to hold for about 2 and 1. Good. So that is your core. Now we're going to go stretching. One day we're going to stretch upper body. One day we're going to stretch lower body. Very few muscles in the body. So many different ways to stretch them. Today I'm just going to do upper body. Find you a wall, find you a static object. First thing we're going to do is our lat stretch. So I just want you to get your hand from the machine. Hands in your sternum. Sternum over right. Extend arms and drop your left shoulder. So again, this is just allows you to feel how far you got to be away from the machine. Hand in your sternum. Sternum over right. Extend arms. Drop your left shoulder to the ground. Should feel a pretty big stretch in this left lat. I'd like for you to feel it in that lower QL if we can, but we might just be able to feel it in that left shoulder. If the left shoulder's tight, that's where we feel it. And again, how long do you hold it? The only way you can release the short tight muscle is by breathing out. So on this static stretching, where you're actually putting your body into an unnatural position, it's really just breathe, hold, and release. So once you take a big breath in and a big breath out, then you just kind of stretch out the muscle. So again, 3 or 4 big, deep breaths on the right, 3 or 4 on the left. Next we're going to do is open up our chest And for purposes, basically, again, shoulder and elbow are in line. The energy's on the elbow. Turn my body around, hand on my chest, and turn my chest all the way around. Again, face the machine. Turn all the way down the line. Left hand sternum and pull. Should feel a big opening in your pec. But the most important thing is when you open up the front, that actually allows the back to lengthen. So the short tight pec here, I'm stretching the pec, which is actually opening up my back. Okay? Next is the cross arm stretch. Find you something that you can cross your arms. Cross your arms, whatever arm's on the outside, lean to that side. So again, two arms. If my right hand's over, lean to the right side. Again, we're going to hold that for about 2 or 3 big breaths. And left side, 2 or 3 big breaths. Perfect. Now we're just going to do our backswing. So again, shoulders from the deal. We're going to sternum over right and then fire your hips. From here, sternum over right and fire your hips. Sternum over right and fire your hips. As you know, on the downswing, your hips actually move 45 degrees back, down, and around, not up or early extend. So sternum over right and back, down, around. Good. 10 on the right, 10 on the left. That is your paw workout. Let's kick it 3 times this week. If you're a beginner, let's do it 1 set. Intermediate, 2 sets. Advanced, 3 sets. Get ready for par number 2.